I've taken this trip once before, in 2017, having caught the train from Oslo to Bergen on that occasion. Great train ride. My film Inspiring Norway tells the story, but I'd been disappointed by the weather. It had been cloudy and rainy. Today my prayers were answered, and we sailed out of Bergen Harbour with perfect weather, ready to enjoy what has to be one of the best boat trips on the planet. Through narrow sounds, under the bridges, past innumerable islands, and with beautiful scenery all the way. My joy was thus enhanced. I knew what to expect. The captain had informed me that it was possible for passengers to go out on the front of the boat, allowing me to get some spectacular shots as the trip progressed. As we sailed out of the splendid harbour, I was quickly reminded that I was in one of the most scenic places on earth. The magnificent harbour, populated today with a grand assortment of vessels, from small fishing boats to ocean-going liners. Such is the attraction of it that as I strolled around the town earlier, people just sat and observed it, like a version of people watching the goings-on in the harbour. Imagination is a wonderful pastime. It ignites passion, maps out our futures, and kickstarts our planning. And most of all, it lifts my mood. Where are you going to? So many vessels, so many destinations. I love airports, looking at the departure board and seeing all the exotic destinations and wishing I was not meeting somebody, but going somewhere. So what about this trip? I'd taken the same trip before as far as Norway. With the weather behaving itself, I was determined to make the best of it, and so I did. Norway is a land of spectacular scenery, which I usually view from Gunnar's car. Today, a different perspective, cruising through the islands. This is not a river, it's a sound. The channel here is between two islands, and because the islands are close together, we get great views of the shores. Naturally, from time to time, bridges span the sounds. Having said that, in many places, it does feel like the boat is on a river, thus providing a great variety of fascinating viewpoints. And scenery that can suddenly change as the boat emerges from a sound and then quickly enters another. The proximity to land allowing us to share fun family moments. With a coastline that's over 3,000 miles longer than that of the USA, We can understand why it's said that everyone in Norway either owns a boat or knows somebody who has one. As the trip progresses, this is clearly evident. First stop, 50 minutes to here, right on time. As we progress, I begin to realize that this boat is a very important means of transportation for the people in these places. As a tourist, I'm blown away by the scenery, but the main purpose of the boat is to ferry people between remote places. Having said that, it's a very enjoyable way to go. Some may say it's slow, but it's actually the quickest way, unless you have a helicopter. The kids playing in the sea. We're 2 hours into the journey, so I went downstairs and bought a snack. Few restaurants have views like these. The front of the boat was great for video, but a little breezy. Some of these waters can be very dangerous in rough weather. Earlier this year, a cruise ship had to be helped into port by the Norwegian Coast Guard. And believe it or not, a tunnel is planned, the Stad Ship Tunnel, that cuts through the Stad Peninsula and will be so large it can accommodate ships up to 16,000 tons. Though it won't be able to accommodate the larger cruise ships. To put it into perspective, the smallest Norwegian cruise line ship at present is 77,000 tons, 5 times larger than the tunnel can manage, though the local Hurtigruten ships are small enough to pass. The Stad Peninsula is actually where we're heading. The express boat stops at Selje. The tunnel will be here, thus avoiding the trip around the peninsula. The 5-hour trip is a great experience, giving visitors the opportunity to view the amazing beauty of Norway from a different perspective. I thoroughly enjoyed it. 5 hours in a car can be taxing, but on the boat I was able to walk around, have a drink or snack, go outside, and even chat with people. The boat itself was impressive. We arrived right on time, the staff were excellent, the ride comfortable, and the opportunity to travel up the beautiful coast in this way, a must for any visitor to Norway. On reaching Morley, it brought back memories of 2017 when we visited Kalvåg. I still think Inspiring Norway is one of my best films. Finally, we arrived at Selje. And there was Gunnar and the motorhome he'd hired. A great trip. Now time to explore another part of Norway.